Today is stretch and strength yoga. We're gonna move and breathe and lengthen. So a little bit of strength, a little bit of lengthening. Kind of a all around class. If you have bands, grab bands. We're gonna play with the bands today. If you don't have them, you don't need them. Maybe grab your blocks. We're gonna do a playful balancing pose. So if you're working on your balance in half moon pose, you may want to have a chair handy. So we're going to do something playful in half moon, and having a chair is going to help you with your balance. I'm going to start on our stomach today. So either in child's pose or crocodile pose, come down, start to land. Start to let go of all the stuff outside of your mat. Let go of yesterday and tomorrow. And just arrive on the mat. Maybe make a little promise to yourself to remain present on your mat. So the card I pulled today, I pulled 2 cards, and they were both about inner peace. So we're going to focus on what might be some boundaries to inner peace. Sometimes physical stress can be some boundaries to inner peace. So we're going to think about, as we're practicing, what holding patterns do we have in the physical body that are kind of in the way for our physical body to be at ease. So peaceful, at ease. And then at the end, we'll go into a little meditation, a little thought about what might be mentally in the way of our inner peace. So starting to land and thinking about maybe what is in the way right now for your own inner peace, without not really answering the question cognitively, but just trying to feel, is there a lot, is there a little, trying to get a general idea of where you're at. Maybe you're feeling particularly peaceful today, and if you have that sense of inner peace and inner ease, maybe exploring what that feels like and really focusing in on what inner peace feels like for you. So begin to lengthen your breath, whether you're in child's or crocodile. Think about your back opening. Think about the muscles across your back lengthening, loosening, making space for your spine. And then if you're in child's, make your way down to crocodile pose, nice and slow. And we're going to go straight into moving with our breath. So bringing your hands wherever it's comfortable for balancing. We're going to use all the muscles of the back. So fire up the legs, fire up the glutes. See if you can fire up the muscles of the back. And then we're going to inhale as we lift the shoulders and exhale as we lower. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Moving with your breath. Maybe beginning to lift the feet up off the ground. Maybe beginning to lift the arms. Trying to find all the muscles of the back and use them evenly rather than just the glutes or just the mid-back. Trying to find all the muscles of the back and try not to yank the head back. Lifting and keeping the head in line. And lengthening the spine from the tailbone to the crown of the head. And then bring it back down to crocodile pose. Shimmy the hips. Loosen and soften. See if you can soften the back, the shoulders a little more. Maybe thinking of stress and things in the way of inner peace, and taking a few breaths in deeply and sighing out of the mouth. As if just letting them go. And then we're going to bring our hands up and we're going to take a little flow for moving through the shoulders. So lifting the torso up, lifting the shoulders up, we're going to bring the left shoulder into midline and turn and look at the right foot, and then back the other way. So inhale through center, exhale as you turn and twist, and start to take this kind of fluid, having an experience in your own shoulders and upper back. Letting your head move where it feels comfortable. Not too much muscular action with this one, just moving through range of motion, feeling your shoulders, feeling your hands. And then bring it back to center, and we're going to work bottom of a push-up. So, bringing our hands down, shoulder, so that we can fire up the muscles of our shoulders and our chest. So press your hands down into the mat, maybe about mat width apart. Start to really just press into the ground and fire up the shoulders. So if I lift my shoulders by just using my arms, my chest kind of stays where it is. If I use my chest, I can pull up. So almost like you're pulling your sternum back to your spine. Press. And then take a little pulses here, starting to warm up the arms and shoulders. Watch for cramping and gripping in the low back. So loosen the low back. Just working the chest. And then bring it back down to crocodile pose. Take a little reset. Change where your arms are positioned, so a different position for your hands, maybe a little bit wider. Press into the ground, pull the chest up out of the ground, lift, engage the chest, and then little pulses. And then see if you are ready and strong enough. So if you are buckling in this and this was super hard, just go on and move straight back into child's pose carefully. If you're ready to try bottom of a push-up, you're going to lift up, engage, hold, pull the navel towards the tailbone, and then maybe even lift up from here. And then find a child's pose. Find your breath, reset. And then we'll move and breathe here. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale towards a child's pose. Moving with your own breath. Moving in whichever pattern and shape feels right for you. Having your own experience on your mat. Inhaling forward and exhaling back. And then sink into child's pose and wiggle your fingers a little bit further forward. Press into the hands, so you're pushing your hands into the mat firmly, as if you're trying to push them away from you without letting them move. And then draw up from the ground with your chest. Breathe and hold. And then leaving your hands engaged like this, we're going to slowly bring the chest forward and bend the elbows, lowering the forearms to a hover above the ground. You should be engaged here. So arms, shoulders, chest engaged, little tiny pulses. Stomach engaged, just to keep an eye on what's going on in the back. Try not to buckle in the back. And then bring it on up to a tabletop position. Take the right leg even with the hip, bend the knee, and then take the heel up to the ceiling without buckling. So Stomach engaged, moving from the glute, moving through the back of the leg, chest engaged, lift up out of the ground. Lower the right toes and press through the heel, either little pulses or little static, or static hold. Little pulses or static hold. Lower the right knee, left leg, even with the hip, lifting up out of the ground. Bend the knee, little pulses with the heel to the ceiling. Lower the toes, press through the heel, little pulses or static. Lower the left knee. We're going to lift the right leg, bent knee, and we're going to take circles with the knee, nice and slow. Just moving through the hip. And then bring the knee down towards the left knee, and we're going to pull the right knee up and back. Up and back. Right leg remaining active, muscles engaged. Watch for buckling in the shoulders. Lift up out of the ground. Lower, lengthen the right leg. Lower the right foot. Press the right foot down into the ground. So looks like this. Press it down into the ground and then move hips. See what you can find on the inner thigh. So press into the ground. Feel like you're trying to push the foot away and then pull the foot apart. Pull the foot back to you. See if you can find inner thigh, right leg. And then bring it back down, tabletop. Left knee lifts, big circles. Nice and slow. And then lengthen the left leg. Land it down on the ground. And then find inner thigh, left leg. Move around. See where this feels right for you. Breathe. And then return to tabletop. We're going to set up for baby huff moon. Have your strap handy if you're going to use your strap. Going to come onto the right side. So have baby huff moon. Turn right knee even with right hand. Lift up out of the ground. So this is me sinking into my shoulder. This is me engaging my torso and lifting up out of the ground. I can even start to come up onto the fingertips. This hand is not what's supporting me. My core is. So, not dumping into the wrist. Lift up out of the ground. Left leg even with right. Start to fire up left leg. So really lifting up out of the ground. Core engaged. Fire up this left leg. And then we're going to lift and lower from the heel. So the leg remains engaged. Watch for a lot of movement in the torso. You want to stay strong and still in the torso and lift and lower the leg. And then lift, active left leg, still strong in the core. We're going to take our left arm up. We're going to bring our left elbow to our left knee with our stomach. So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull in. Nice and strong. Active muscles. Watch for dumping into that right shoulder. Lift up out of the ground. Land the left leg down on the ground and slowly come on up. Take a break with this right shoulder. So land that left foot down. Take a big circle with the right arm. Nice and slow. And then big breath in as you scoop the right arm up and over, lengthen right side body. Watch for pushing in onto this left side. Loosen the left arm and even bring it on to your torso to remind you not to push into that knee. Make all the work come from this right side body. And then return to baby half moon. If you have your strap and you want to play with it, wrap it around the ball of the left foot and hold on to your strap with the left hand. Bring your left hand to your hip and press into the band. So see how this feels a little bit different? Still watching for dumping into that right shoulder. Lengthen, press in to the band. And then we're gonna lift and lower the leg, still active. And then we're going to bend the left knee, still holding on to our bend. Bend the left knee and bring the heel towards the glute. Holding on, and then start to stretch. Push into the band. If you don't have the band, you're just bringing the heel towards the glute. Slowly unravel. Let go of your strap. Now we're going to come through tabletop. So take a little side sway through the shoulders. Notice left and right sides. And then we'll reconnect with our breath. Inhale forward, exhale back. And then set up for left side, keeping your strap handy. So left hand and left knee in line, right leg long. Lift up out of the ground, stomach really strong and active. And then lift and hover, right leg nice and strong. All muscles in the right leg engaged. And we're gonna lift and lower the right leg. Strong right leg, strong core, strong torso. Watch for buckling in that left shoulder. Really pull yourself up out of the ground with all of the muscles of the torso. And then lift and hover the right leg, nice and strong. Right arm comes up and we're gonna bring right elbow to right knee. Inhale long, exhale, squeeze in. Inhale long, exhale, squeeze it. Use the core. Lengthen, lower the right foot and slowly come on up, gate pose. Land the right foot down and take a big circle with this left arm, nice and slow. And then a big scoop with the left arm, right side or left side lengthens. Breathe into the open left side. Watch for locking of the right knee. and set back up. Wrapping the strap around the ball of the right foot if you're going to play. Press into the strap, bring the right hand to the hip. Press, press, press. Lift up out of the ground. So really strong core, not sinking into the left shoulder. You're lifting lower right heel. Pressing into the strap, really activating the right leg. And then holding onto the strap, bend the knee and bring the heel towards the glute. And then lengthen, pressing into the bend. Slowly unravel and return to tabletop. Take your hands a little bit wider and take a side sway through the shoulders. Feeling left and right sides. And then connecting back in with our breath. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Set up for baby half moon left side. So lengthen, baby half moon, press through the right heel. Maybe pulling up with this right hand. And then bend the knee of the right leg. Bring it towards the hip. Land the right foot down and lengthen the left side body. So left leg lengthens. So from here, we're going to watch that we're not hurting this left shoulder. So maybe bring the left forearm down. We're going to work through inner leg on the left side. So the core does some of this work. You want to activate your stomach, lift the left heel. So watch for buckling in the back. Lengthen this left leg. Really lengthen and lengthen the core. Really strong core. Right arm is just for balance and then little pulses here. And either stay here holding and hovering, or if you'd like the challenge, you're going to press into both hands really strong in the chest and shoulder. Press into the right leg and see if you can lift up and hover that left leg. Slowly lower. Bring it round. Both feet out. Both legs out. And take a little shimmy with the legs. Little side sway. Let the legs go. And then we're going to point and flex. Cross the legs. Come back over tabletop. Right leg sets up, right side. Right arm down, right leg in line. Left leg lifts for baby half moon. Maybe really pulling out of the ground. Left arm reach. Whole torso very strong. Active. Then bend the left knee. Bring it towards the navel. Lower the left foot down. And then we're going to lengthen right side. Drop the right hip down to the ground. Lengthen right leg. Set up for the other side. So strong torso. Lift and hover right leg. Find the inner thigh muscles and the core. So stomach is working to hold this leg. And then little pulses. Watch for buckling in the shoulder. Make sure you're comfortable in the shoulder. Notice if one side's harder than the other. And then hold and hover. And then maybe pressing into both hands. Fire up the chest. Press into the left leg. And maybe lift the torso. Hover the right. Lower it down. Bring it over to a seat. And shimmy the legs. Let go. connecting with our breath. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Inhale up. Exhale. Knees can be bent, legs can be long. Inhale up. Exhale, little fold. And then cross over the legs, tabletop. Tuck the toes and come on up to down dog. Warm up your down dog, whichever movement feels right for you. And then find the stillness of down dog. Connect to your head or your heart. Find nice, slow, steady breath. Bend the knees and slowly lift the right leg high. Lengthen three-legged dog. And then bend this right leg, step through, drop the back foot down, and rise up, warrior two. So set up your base nice and strong. Lifting up out of the ground with all of the muscles of your legs. Watching for locked left knee, strong legs. Arms can be up, or if your arms are tired, just bring them to prayer. Hold a warrior two. Check in on your base. Check in, soft toes, strong legs, soft face. Loosen some of the tension in the shoulder. And we're going to move and breathe here. So arms, palms up. Inhale, lengthen, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, warrior two. So starting to find really strong action in the legs. Moving with our breath nice and slow. Hold the warrior two. Lifting up out of the ground, lengthening through the spine. Strong legs. Start to straighten up the front leg, so not locking the knee. Engage the torso, get longer, longer, longer. Press through the right arm. Active triangle legs, strong torso, so floating our triangle. Engage. If you'd like, you can bring your left arm up and imagine you're holding a beach ball. Bring the right arm pointing down towards the ground without holding anything. Left hand can wrap behind left hip or hold hip. We're going to reach and pull back. Reach and pull back. So right arm remains active. Torso is strong. Legs are strong and still. Reach and pull. If you like, you can remind yourself which muscles of your stomach you're trying to use by holding on to the left side oblique. And then scoop on up, reverse your triangle, lengthen the right side body. Breathe. Bring it back, warrior two. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn your feet, heels in, toes out, and move through the hips side to side. So bring the torso forward and just kind of start to feel inner thighs. Moving slow, engage legs. Watch for locking of the knee. Bring the torso back up, turn the right heel sideways, left heel forward, set up warrior two, other side. So hands can be at hips, They can lengthen. They can be a prayer, really focusing on your base. So, hanging out in warrior two, active legs. So nice strong legs, not just hanging out. We're lengthening and strengthening here. Watch for locked right knee. Strong, strong, strong legs. And then feel like you're pulling through your spine. So lengthening, lengthening, lengthening the torso. Hold. Find a strong base. And then arms up, palms up, moving and breathing. Inhale, lift, lengthen, straighten front leg. Exhale, lower. So we're not flopping. We're using our muscles. Inhale, exhale. Move with your breath. Hold the warrior two. Start to straighten up that front leg. Lengthen the torso. Left arm forward. And then lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Pushing that left arm forward and away from you. So strong in the torso. Option to bring both arms up. Float our triangle. Legs are strong. Knees are not locked. Lifting up and pulling yourself out of the ground. Breathe. Right arm can come onto the right hip or tuck behind. Left arm reaches down at an angle without grabbing anything. And we're going to push and pull. Push. Remember, using obliques to move. Small, controlled movement. And then scoop the left arm up and over, lengthen left side body. Reverse your triangle. Watch for tension in the neck. Back to our warrior two, long and strong. Hands to hips, turn the toes. Toes out, heels in. And then a little moving and breathing through goddess legs. So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees, lower to goddess. So strong legs, really finding inner thighs. We're not just hanging out. Lengthening, finding muscles. Arms can be active. Arms can take a break. Bring the legs up, turn the left toes out, find your strap. So left toes are sideways, leave them with the back of the mat. Wrap around the ball of the left foot. If you are playing, you don't have to do this. So if you are playing, turn right toes, even with long side of the mat. So warrior two legs. We are going to stay here, get strong first, and then bring the weight onto the right leg. So pull through the core, holding onto the strap. This is where you really might need that chair if you're still working on your balance for warrior two to half moon. So bring the strength into the left leg. Start to really pull up from the ground with all of your stomach muscles. Left leg active. And then see if you can pop up to a half moon. So again, use the chair to balance here if you need it. Holding onto the strap, keeping this left leg and side active. Woof. Move, hold, balance, breathe. Warrior two, half moon. And then slowly bending into the right leg, lowering the left as slow as you can. Back to warrior two. Undo your strap, switch sides. So right foot wraps underneath the strap, left foot turns out for warrior two shape. So find your warrior two, holding onto your strap, lengthen, draw up out of the ground, bend into the left leg, and really engage left leg. Torso over, weight over. Breathe, and then lengthen up, half moon. So see if you can do it holding on to the strap. Lengthen, strong body, balance and breathe. Slowly bending into the left leg, lower the right as slow as you can. Warrior two, let go of your strap. Make your feet parallel, and we're gonna forward fold. So maybe using your block here, wider feet, work inner thighs, closer together, work back of the legs. So make a choice about where you want to be, and forward fold, and take either a static hold or some side sways. Whatever feels right in your practice. Bend into the knees and rise up to stand. Inhale as you come up. And we're going to keep our feet a little bit wider. We're going to reach arms up overhead. We're going to tip our arms over to the right and then shift our hips over to the left. So lengthening left side body. And hold on to your arms and lengthen even more. Bring it back through center. Body comes over to the left, tip your hips to the right. Back through center, lower the arms, take some shoulder circles, and step the feet in a little bit more. Arms up overhead, body to the right, and then push the hips over to the left. Hips go opposite way. And back through center, body to the left, hips to the right. Back through center. This time, arms come down. Roll the shoulders one at a time. And then a little side sway. So think about inner peace. What's in the way? Can you imagine just sweeping it out? Cleaning it out of your personal space, letting go, close your eyes, sway. And then bring it back. We'll connect with our breath. Inhaling arms overhead, exhaling prayer to heart. Inhaling up, exhaling prayer to heart. Bring your prayer to heart. Bring a little soft bend into the knees. And we're just going to work through the feet nice and slow. So slowly lifting one heel at a time. Hands can remain a prayer. They can come to your hips. Just working through the feet. Noticing anything that might be present around the ankles, around the knees. And if you'd like a little more strengthening, you're going to bend your knees and then lift both heels at the same time. Lift and hover. Otherwise, just keep lifting one heel at a time, slowly working through the muscles. And we're going to slowly sink our hips with our stomach tightly engaged. Hold at that point where all of your legs feel engaged, like you're trying to squeeze your knees in and pull them apart at the same time. Fire up every part of your legs. Soften the shoulders, soften the face. Slowly lower the heels. Torso up, come to stand. And then turning towards the front of our mat. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive it down. Step back, high plank. Hold a high plank, lifting up out of the ground. Strong high plank. And then lower the knees. Child's pose, take a reset, let go, find your breath. Bring it back to a tabletop. Slowly up to a down dog. Lifting up out of the ground. Bend the knees and slowly step the right foot forward. Little lunge shape, and then lower the back knee down. Untuck the toes. You can use your blocks here to help you lift up out of this right hip and adjust the back knee so you're not actually on top of the knee. More of your weight is on the top of this left foot. Maybe even pulling up out of the ground and really lifting off the knee with the muscles of the left leg. Watch for dropping into this right hip. So lifting up, pulling yourself up out of the ground, active pose. Maybe you can start to bring the torso up. Slowly lower the back knee. If you lifted it, send the hips back towards the left heel. Lengthening left leg. Maybe adjusting your blocks. So play with pressing into the right foot. Seeing if you can fire up the back of the leg. Maybe pulling the toes back towards the shin and pressing into the heel. So pressing the heel away from you or pulling it back towards the left knee. So activating the stretch. Slowly come forward so the weight is more on the right leg. Tuck the toes off the left and lift up off the left knee, slowly coming to a low lunge shape. And then send right leg back to meet left and come to a down dog. Bend the knees, step the left foot forward, lower the back knee, and set up so the right foot is down. Press into the right foot. And imagine you're pulling all of the muscles of the right leg forward towards the left without letting that left foot move. Breathe. Lower the right knee if you lifted it. Send the hips back towards the right foot. And you can leave the toes down or pull the toes back. Find where it feels right for you. Keeping an eye on this not being in the back. We're not working the back right now. So we can lift our torso all the way up. Use our blocks for balance. Breathe. Bring the weight onto the left leg. Tuck the toes at the back. Lift the back knee, low lunge shape. And then send left foot back to meet right. Hold, lift up out of the ground. And then lower the knees and come to a seated position. Swing the feet out. Take a little sway. Open the legs. So just enough so you can find inner thigh. And then press through the feet. So press the toes away and pull them back, feeling the legs, or maybe just a little side sway. Actively turning. So you turn one thigh in and then pull it out. Turn it in, pull it out. So working through the muscles of the leg. This movement is not coming from the lower back. Working through the leg. If you're rolling a thigh over and in towards center. And bring the soles of the feet together and draw the knees down with the muscles of the legs. So you can lean back, pull the legs down. And again, you can take this static drawing down, opening up, or you can take little pulses. And then bring the soles of the feet down and make your way down to your back. Once we get onto our back, landing on our back, feeling our hips, feeling what is present. Take your feet and legs long, point your toes, reach your arms up overhead, and stretch from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes, lengthening the front of the body. And then slide the feet over to the right, and then bring the torso over to the right, making a big banana shape on the ground. Lengthening left side body. Watch for tension in the neck. And banana on the other side, feet and arms and shoulders over to the left. Bring the torso back to neutral. Bring the knees in to give yourself a little hug. Watch for the tension in the low back. So try not to over flatten the low back down to the ground. Just get the hips comfortable and then take the feet up. Watch for pressing the neck down into the ground. The chin up to the ceiling. Take the tension out of the neck. Let that natural curve be there. And we're just experiencing our feet above our heart. So maybe you just even bend the knees. We just want our feet up, wiggle the toes, take ankle circles, whatever feels good, feels right for you in this moment. I'm taking this opportunity to bring my fingertips to the base of my skull, just a little gentle self-massage in this space. Just a teeny bit of fingertip pressure, starting to land back on the ground. And then bring your knees in. Give yourself a little hug. And happy baby. So bring the soles of the feet to the ceiling. Maybe grab outer edges of your feet or the shins. Grab your feet. Press your feet into your hands. See how that feels to activate the stretch. You can sway it, you can hold it, you can open the legs and bring them in. Have a little internal experience of where you need to be. Bring the right leg, happy baby, and lower the left leg down to the ground, straight. Half happy baby. And keep your hand on your left thigh. Press into the right hand. Lengthen the leg and bend. Lengthen and bend. Again, if you're just holding your shin, you can hold your shin. Bring your right knee in. Bring your left knee into the chest. Grab the left foot. Half happy baby. Other side. Lengthen right leg. Right hand can stay on the right thigh. You can lengthen and bend left leg. Bend the left knee, bring it in towards the chest. Right knee in towards the chest. Cross right knee over left and draw feet to opposite shoulders. You're looking for a piriformis glute area on the right side. You can rest your hands on your shins. And this is a fight or flight muscle. So now we're just breathing and imagining sending fresh breath to the space, sweeping away tension. Breathing in fresh and sweeping away what is no longer needed. Slowly unravel. Left knee comes over right, feet to opposite shoulders. Piriformis glute area on the left side, and breathe. Breathe in fresh. Sweep away tension with the exhale. And then slowly unravel. Bring both feet to the ground, knees up, and take a little side sway, side to side. Loosening, softening, landing on the mat. And then make a decision for where you want to be for your resting pose. Maybe your knees are up. Maybe you have a bolster under your knees. Maybe you're in full corpse pose. Starting to land on the ground in a resting pose. So do a scan. What is in the way of you being fully at rest? No muscular action. Do you need to shuffle your head and let the muscles of your neck go? Do you need to find props? Place something underneath the knees so the back is not pulling. Maybe you need to be in an entirely different position. Maybe you need to be in a fetal position. Maybe your legs are up on a chair. Find what is in the way of your physical inner peace. We want inner peace. We want softness, softness, softness. The whole entire body soft. Soften the feet. Soften the legs. Soften the hips. Soften the muscles around breathing. Let go of control of your breath. Soften your shoulders. Soften your neck. Soften the muscles of the face. Soften the muscles around the eyes. And soften completely into the support of the ground below you. So I pulled 2 cards on peace today. My first is from our funnier cards. And it says, holding on to resentments is like taking a poo in your own heart. It's not the word it uses, but I'm online. So think about that. Holding on to resentments is like dumping in your own heart. Because holding on to that resentment doesn't necessarily affect the other person or the person or thing or whatever it is you have a resentment against. The only thing it does is pull a burden inside your own experience. So as you're really starting to loosen and soften around the shoulders, maybe you can imagine something like weights or baggage or just heavy energy on the shoulders. And maybe you can imagine starting to soften, drift it away, brush it away, let it fall. Cultivating peace. Peace is an inner state of being. No matter what is happening around you, your response is your responsibility. By choosing to hold a loving place for yourself and for any inner trauma that might be triggered, you can cultivate peace within. This will support you to choose compassion over blame, education over ridicule, inner strength over force, and love over fear. You can choose to embody the peace that you long for in your life. I'm going to read that again. You can choose to embody the peace that you long for in your life. My intention is to cultivate serenity in my heart, mind, and soul, and to choose thoughts, words, and actions that foster peace. So careful thought whenever we think about positivity. So fostering peace and cultivating peace does not mean forcing a smile when you feel sad. It does not mean forcing positivity when you feel the complete opposite, pretending that negative does not exist, or pushing it down or shoving it aside. Cultivating peace means honestly knowing your feelings, knowing your traumas, knowing your burdens, and holding space for them, being real with them, being compassionate with them. Because when you cultivate your own compassion for yourself, you're no longer reaching out and trying to grasp it from others, which can happen in very negative ways when it's not reciprocated in the way that we're looking for. And then we start to lash out, and then it becomes this spiral. So cultivating inner peace does not mean not feeling sad. It means finding those feelings, holding space for them, holding so much compassion and space for our trauma, for our feelings, for our sadness, that we no longer reach outside of ourselves for that support. And when we can support ourselves and find a little inner peace, then we can choose our words and actions and feelings in line with wanting to cultivate more peace. Makes us less reactionary, more at peace. Not to say that the world is not coming to an end because we're going to put on a fake smile and pretend everything is rosy. And so we know that when everything is not rosy, we can be peaceful within, not increasing the fear, but holding space for it. So wherever you're at, if you have the time to take in longer resting pose, and you feel that you need it today, please take as much time as you need. You need to finish up at 60 minutes. We're starting to get to that mark. So begin to bring yourself back a little bit into the physical body, noticing where you're at. Make your hands warm and just bring them onto your torso wherever they're drawn to. And imagine the warmth of your hands could just soften any further tension resting here. So often our emotional space is centered in the torso. So imagine the warmth of your hands could release any further tension, any further restrictions to your inner peace. Imagine that you can be at harmony, letting your feelings move and flow. Imagine you're giving yourself a warm and compassionate hug. And then if you're not already there, curl up in a ball in a fetal position. You're imagining maybe balls of heavy energy, anything kind of visually representative of burdens that you're ready to release, things in the way of your inner peace. Try not to think of them as cognitively as memories, but just as a visual representation. Curled up in a protective ball, you're going to let go of what you're ready to let go of. Let it soften to the mat. And then slowly come on up to a seated position. Bring your hands to heart space. And connect with this gesture. Bringing our left and right sides to meet in front of our heart. This gesture of accepting ourselves as whole and complete, precisely as we are. May we all know a little inner peace, a little inner compassion, and a little inner kindness. And may we all know a little connection. Thanks for joining me.